It's the minister for Taji and T. Hey yo, boo, you a fool for this one. Let's get it. It look like a church, it sound like a church, and it move like a church, but it don't feel like a church. It looks like a church, and it sounds like a church, and it moves like a church, but it don't feel like a church. Now I know it's hard to breathe with your face masked up, and it's hard being real around fake actors. Yeah. So tell me how you feel with your plate stacked up, with trouble, and they be treating you like way back up. You grab the back seat and be like they jacked up. The choir director flirting and he way past lust. They moved you 5 times, now you way past frustrated, and now you thinking words way past cuss. The preacher get up and he be way past fuss. The sermon that he preaching, it be way past us. This our first day, is that aimed at us? Cause the stuff he talking about can't be blamed on us. Now where the Lord at? I bet he's ashamed of this stuff. And I guess he stayed home and I can't blame him too much. Cause take a look around, how y'all calling this church, when all it really is just a glorified club. Cause it looks like a church, and it sounds like a church, and it moves like a church, but it don't feel like a church. Cause it looks like a church, and it sounds like a church, and it moves like a church, but it don't feel like a church. That's why they don't come here now. Church mess. That's why they don't come here now. Church mess. That's why they don't come here now. Church mess. That's why they don't come here now. Now why do church services never cater to the word? And why do church folks never do what they heard? And why do certain sins only apply to certain groups? And how do you get a pass because you run in certain loops? And how you sleep with him when you married to him? How you claiming that you saved when you hanging with them, but you turning on them when you do the same thing, but you quit to point the finger and you ain't even ashamed. And I'll be like, dang, y'all ain't playing in here. You almost have to be a sinner if you stand in him. Trying not to be a sinner, you ain't staying in him. I see a whole lot of dudes, but ain't no man in him. It's like being nice to folks that been banned in here. I bet it change if I drop 100 grand in here. Money talks, and I know they playing games in here. So why should I come out the streets? It's the same in here. Cause it looks like a church, and it sounds like a church, and it moves like a church, but it don't feel like a church. Cause it looks like a church, and it sounds like a church, and it moves like a church, but it don't feel like a church. Alright, that's why they don't come here now. Church mess. That's why they don't come here now. Church mess. That's why they don't come here now. Church mess. That's why they don't come here now. Folks will treat you like a dog and get mad when you bark. And if you tell them not to accept, they say hatred in your heart. Well, what was in your heart when you was doing me in? What if I told the congregation you was drinking again? And brother do right, them ain't even your twin. Look at Deacon so-and-so, ain't they looking like him? And brother head deacon still smelling like gin. Was at the casino last night, cussing cause he didn't win. And he like him, and she like her. And that ain't real fur, and that ain't her. And he beat on his wife, that's why she wearing them shades. He preach against homosexuals, but you know what they say. I'm not bashing the church, I'm bashing it.